This cleansing oil has proven to be quite the polarizing figure within the skincare community. Love this product and I will always be loyal, but it didn't really fulfill any brief because it didn't really do anything. Probably one of my top picks of 2020. One of my top picks, definitely. Probably one of my least liked products ever. And now having used it and realized just how bad it is, there is not an ounce of me that can believe that those influencers actually thought that this was a good product. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Rose. So today, since we're over halfway through 2020, which is frankly disturbing, I wanted to share with you guys the skincare products I've been using and have finished thus far in 2020. And much like 2020 as a whole, my experience with skincare so far has been wildly disappointing. Now, I don't want to exaggerate. There have been some products that I've loved. I might even say holy grail products, and I'll get into those later. But so many, even those that I've previously loved, have just really let me down. But enough of all of that, let's actually get into it. So I have a lot of products here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through in order of the routine. So I'm going to start with cleansers. So I'm going to talk about this first. This is the Klairs Gentle Black Deep Cleansing Oil. This cleansing oil has proven to be quite the polarizing figure within the skincare community. Much like the 2016 remake of Ghostbusters, which people seem to either love or have a guttural loathing for. People either seem to love or hate this cleanser. And if you're wondering where I stand on the great Ghostbusters debate, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. Definitely could have done without the over-sexualization of Chris Hemsworth. Popular critiques are that it can be a little bit too heavy and also that it can leave a slight film on the skin. However, I must say these have not been problems for me. I've actually found this to be quite a light oil, but you don't need to use that much, and that's, I think, the key here. I definitely understand why it would seem quite heavy if you use anything more than 2 pumps of this. And I do agree that it does leave a slight film, but for me that's just completely negated because I always follow up with a water-based cleanser which completely gets rid of that. So that's not really a negative for me. So I get the issues, but they haven't really been a problem at all for me. I actually really like this oil. I think it's really light and it got rid of my makeup and SPF really, really well. It also emulsifies really, really nicely into almost like a milky consistency, which I like in an oil cleanser. The only issue that I would have with this is that it's a little bit expensive. It's about $20. And I think that there are cleansers that are less expensive that are just as effective. But if you want to spend that kind of money on a cleanser, then for me, this is a good one. Overall, as a product, I really, really loved this and enjoyed using it. The only other cleanser that I fully run out of is the COSRX Low pH Morning Cleanser, and I've spoken about that a lot and I've done a full review of all of that. So I will link it somewhere here so you can go and check that out, and I won't bore you with any of the details again in this video. So we're going to talk about toners next, and the first toner I'm going to talk about is from Neogen. This is their Real Cica pads. Now I have to say this is a toner that I have been seriously disappointed by. Not because I don't like the formulation, I actually really like the actual toning solution, but more because of the waste. As Marie Kondo would say, it certainly does not spark joy. And that's because I'm attempting to be more environmentally friendly in my life, and that includes skincare. And this comes in the form of single-use pads, which are not good for the world. And what's really annoying is that this trend keeps rising. There are so many companies coming out this year with toning pads or exfoliating pads. It's ridiculous. And I'm not innocent. The number of single-use cotton pads, of toning pads, of exfoliation pads that I have chucked out over the years, I could build a sculpture of Greta Thunberg. It's really just not on. So Neogen and all of you other companies that keep creating these single-use pads, stop it, rethink it, reimagine it. We don't want it anymore. So I emptied this and I'm gonna leave it behind and never look back, and I suggest that you guys do the same. Now the next toner that I have completely used up this year is from Sun By Me. This is their AHA, BHA, PHA 30 Days Miracle Toner. Now my major issue with this product is the name. I just feel like if you're gonna call yourself a miracle, i.e. something that literally is so amazing it cannot be explained by science, by definition, all of the responses you're gonna get are gonna be slightly underwhelming. And I'm just not sure that that's a great jumping off point for any product. And I understand the importance of marketing and grabbing your customers' attention, but in my opinion, this just falls so short of what could ever even vaguely be described as a miracle. Ingredients are fine, formulation's fine, price is really good, it's a nice little toner, but it's not a miracle. Basically, if you're not aware of what this is, it's essentially a very, very gentle exfoliator, and I used it a couple of days a week and my skin really liked it. It really enjoyed the gentle exfoliation. Absolutely no irritation, and it did what it's supposed to do. It helped keep blemishes at bay, and it really helped kind of keep hyperpigmentation reducing at a good rate. I mean, it was fine. Lovely. I used the entire thing, so obviously I didn't hate it, but it didn't change my skin overnight, and I don't want people to think that it will, because very rarely do products ever do that, and for this price point, this product certainly won't do that. So I would actually recommend this to people who want to kind of minimize their routine. They don't want to have a toner, an exfoliator, and all of these different products. They want to kind of condense their routine. Or I would also suggest this for people who really struggle to find exfoliators that don't irritate their skin. As you guys know, I have super sensitive skin, and this worked great on my skin. So I would recommend it. I did like it. Do I think it's a miracle? Absolutely not. So now we're going to move into the land of essences, which is my favorite land to visit. I love essences more than pretty much anything in the world. So the first essence I'm going to talk about is from MISSHA. This is their Time Revolution, the first treatment essence. So I've spoken about this product before. I'm going to put a link up there so you can go and check out my full review, but I have used this product for years and I absolutely love it, and obviously another bottle has been used. So what's really cool about this product is that it's 95% fermented yeast, which means that it's incredibly hydrating, and it hydrates really all the way through down your skin layers. And what I find that this does is it really refines my skin's texture and also brightens my skin, and that's partly because this contains niacinamide, which is one of my all-star favorite ingredients. Love it, great for brightening the skin. Now I've tried to wean myself off this a couple of times just because I have a self-destructive streak and I want to see the world burn. But every single time I stop using this, I regret it because my skin just looks worse. I'm just really in love with it. It's super light, super watery, perfect for summer. I use it all year round. That was very close to my face, but perfect for summer. Also for those who have very reactive or sensitive skin, this is brilliant for sensitive skin, and it's also fragrance free. And as you can probably tell by now, I cannot speak any more highly about this. I just love this product and I will always be loyal to this essence. Love it. Now we're going to go in with another essence. This is the Advanced Snail Mucin Power Essence from COSRX, and spoiler alert, this is another essence that I am madly, truly, deeply in love with. Now the main ingredient in this is obviously snail mucin, which has just a myriad of benefits. It's super hydrating, it works really hard to get rid of hyperpigmentation, and it also improves the tone and elasticity of your skin. So great for anti-aging. Snail mucin is definitely a holy grail ingredient for me, and this product is another holy grail for me as well. In particular, I can definitely credit this essence with helping dramatically with my acne scarring. And if any of you guys out there are struggling with acne scarring and really can't find anything that gets rid of them, then I would highly suggest investing in this essence. It's just changed my skin. So now we're going to talk about serums and ampules, which have definitely been somewhat of a mixed bag so far this year. And we're going to go in first with the Neogen White Truffle Serum in Oil Drop. Now, I'm not sure I can accurately describe just how desperate I was to get my hands on this product. The packaging was beautiful and all of the promotional stuff was so cool. At one point, it was just like plastered all over Olive Young. It was like the product to have. I convinced myself, like, you know when you put truffles on pasta, it automatically becomes classy pasta? I convinced myself that having this on would be like classy pasta on my face, which is a sentence I never thought I'd say. Anyway, I wanted this luxurious and pretty serum to put on my face to make it look equally as luxurious and pretty. Unfortunately, it did not fulfill that particular brief. But it didn't really fulfill any brief because it didn't really do anything. And I tried really hard. I mean, like, I used the whole thing, as you can see. I tried really hard, but I couldn't see any visible results. I mean, like, seriously, absolutely nothing. I mean, to be fair, it didn't break me out, and it does have this beautiful, luxurious texture. But in reality, all it really did was provide this really nice kind of occlusive layer to seal in all of my other serums. And for $35, I wanted something that did a little bit more than just feel nice and protect what all of the other serums were doing. So unfortunately, this is an empty product that I will not be repurchasing, and I'm going to leave it in my past, along with most other things that 2020 has bought thus far. I want to talk about the product that has arguably been my favorite product of 2020 so far, and it is the Time Stop Collagen Ampule from the Plant Base. I've just never used a serum that works as fast or as well as this. I'm just completely blown away. So the star ingredient here is mushroom extract, and this is made of 76.5% of that. And what mushroom does is it stimulates collagen production and also elastin within the skin. So basically it helps reduce fine lines and wrinkles. Now I know what you guys might be thinking, but Rose, you don't have any wrinkles. You're so beautiful and young and vibrant, and all of that is true. However, I have been genetically gifted, along with lungs that don't work, thanks Dad, little lines underneath my eyes. Thank you, Mother. Now I've always had these. I've had these since I was born. I was called wrinkly eyes at school, which looking back is literally the most elementary school insult that anybody could ever come up with. You have wrinkly eyes, therefore I will call you wrinkly eyes. Genius. They're really, really annoying, but it is what it is. I have to deal with them. So during my not huge number of years on this earth, I have used very, very, very many serums to try and kind of help me out with this little under eye area. And I've never used a serum that has worked as well as this one. It's got a really smooth, luxurious texture, and I kind of put it like just here and up here, but it doesn't sting my eyes at all, which a lot of serums that are supposed to kind of reduce wrinkles and stuff like that, they kind of sting my eyes when I put them too close to my eyes, but this one doesn't sting at all. Also, this is completely fragrance free, so you don't really have to worry about it. You might be allergic to fragrance, you might not, but with this, you don't even have to worry about that. I'm so sad it's empty. I've got another one on the way, so hopefully that will arrive pretty soon. But I had a little mini meltdown when this ran out, but I'm fine now. Everything's fine. But yeah, I absolutely love this. Probably one of my top picks of 2020. One of my top picks, definitely. In love with it, fantastic. I'm gonna move on now. So the first moisturizer I wanna talk about is from BLITHE. This is a Tundra Chaga Pressed Serum. So the idea behind this moisturizer is actually pretty unique. You know how the cream skin trend that was like around a couple months ago combined a toner with a moisturizer? This is similar, but it's combining a serum with a moisturizer. So it's really cool in that it's basically just a very nutritious treatment moisturizer. And I've just been really loving this because my skin has definitely needed a little bit of extra TLC. Don't we all, considering what we're currently going through? So I did an entire video on this, which I will link, where I go through the texture and pros and cons and why I like it and why I don't like it. So go and check that out. But basically, overall, I've really, really enjoyed this product. I'd really recommend investing in one of these moisturizers, particularly during winter, because I feel like this would come in absolutely clutch for you. Also, this is a really great product for those of you who, like me, just sometimes can't be bothered. You know those evenings where you're just so exhausted from sitting around the house in quarantine watching Grey's Anatomy, and all you want to do is snuggle up in bed and watch Grey's Anatomy? You know those feelings? Maybe that's just me. But if you've experienced the same thing and you really just can't be bothered to do a really big, long, boring routine, you just want to get into bed, then this is a great moisturizer because it does combine lots of different steps. This is definitely the guy for you. So I've emptied this and I have loved this. So this next moisturizer that I'm going to bring up is, I know this is going to be a very controversial opinion on this particular product, but the thing that really annoys me about this product, and to be honest with you, it's not even the moisturizer's fault, it's because I bought it based on recommendations by influencers, skincare influencers that I really, really trusted. And now having used it and realized just how bad it is, there is not an ounce of me that can believe that those influencers actually thought that this was a good product. It's like, you know, at the start of the year and you were so optimistic and 2020 was going to be your year, and then there was a global pandemic, and then there was rioting, and the leader of the free world is still a narcissistic sociopath, and you realize that 2020 probably isn't going to be your year, and it actually might be the worst year in human history. That's how I feel. A tad disappointed. Now you guys will definitely have seen this around on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or whatever. They obviously had a pretty substantial promo budget, and the moisturizer that I'm talking about is from Belif. This is their True Cream Aqua Bomb. Now I'm not going to name names, and I don't want you guys to lose faith in those influencers that did recommend this product, and I don't want you to automatically cancel them because I believe that's incredibly toxic and there are much better ways to have those conversations. I just can't believe that anyone who preaches good skincare would actively encourage anybody to buy this product. The first thing is that the fragrance is just so overpowering, it's genuinely uncomfortable. Now, I am allergic to some fragrance, not all, and this might not even be an issue for me, but it was a really, really uncomfortable experience to use a product, which is not something that you really want to deal with when you're paying that much money for a moisturizer. This also has a super, super high alcohol content, which is probably why my skin broke out so badly. And also, it's nearly $40 a pop, which to me is just like obscene. To know that I spent that much on this still makes me feel a little bit queasy. And you can see, like, I didn't even finish it because I just hated the experience so much. I really, really did not enjoy this moisturizer at all. Also, it's fundamentally just like not that hydrating. It's not bad, it's fine, but there's better moisturizers out there. It's not that hydrating. I did like the texture. It was very cooling, but that's pretty much the only thing that I did like about this product. To ask your followers to fork out $40 for poor formulation, high alcohol content, and loads of fragrance is just frankly shocking to me. Probably one of my least liked products ever. I'm gonna leave this in the dust and hope that it never returns to haunt me in the future. Okay, moving swiftly on. Here we have a super affordable, lightweight gel formula, which is very, very hydrating. And overall, just a very, very good egg. It's also very, very light texture, which you guys know that I really, really enjoy. And it absorbs beautifully into the skin. Like, it leaves like a really nice finish. Not dewy, but not matte either. Just like the perfect kind of seamless blend. It's also fragrance free, so if you're worried about fragrance, you don't have to worry about this. And just overall, the formulation, the ingredients are just top notch. Really, really, really good quality product. And this is actually 92% snail mucin, so that's a very high percentage. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck with this product. I wear this pretty much every day, twice a day, all year round, summer and winter, doesn't really matter. It's light enough for summer, but also hydrating enough for winter. It's honestly, genuinely one of my holy grail products, and I just adore it. And as you can see, a whole nother tub has gone and left the building, and I have already repurchased another one, and it is sitting on my countertop. Still use it, absolutely love it. So now we're going to move on to sunscreens, and I use a lot of sunscreen. As you can tell, I am super pale. So pale, in fact, that a family friend came over the other day and genuinely texted my mum afterwards to say that I must be ill because I am so pale. It's like, no ma'am, that is just my face. Anyway, moral of the story is I have tried and tested a lot of sunscreens. And I have to say that this one from Klairs, the Soft Airy UV Essence, is one of the best. It is one of my all-time favorites. It's got a lovely, light, almost watery texture, which then blends beautifully into the skin and leaves absolutely no white cast whatsoever. I've tested it on friends, and I've seen it being tested on a huge range of skin tones, which I really like, because it's important that with all cosmetics, with all skincare, that it's available to anybody that wants to buy it regardless of their skin tone. Things should be accessible for everyone. And what I really love about this is that it's actually fantastic under makeup. It's not oily, but also it's not super mattifying. So it gives like an almost like satiny finish, which is very, very flattering under makeup. And overall, just like everything that you would want from a really good sunscreen, this delivers in bucket loads. So moving on to sleeping masks, we're going to talk about the Laneige sleeping mask. And this is a weird one for me because I have been using this for absolutely years. I've always liked it, and it has remained popular in Korea for a very, very long time. However, recently I've developed like a real aversion to it. It's very, very strange. I just started to become really, really like unexcited about putting it on because I'm such a skincare freak. I really, really enjoy putting on products, and I look forward to it. So when I found myself like, ugh, I have to put this on, I was like, why do I feel that way? Like, that's very weird. The smell started to get really, really overpowering and like slightly medicinal and just like very unappealing to me. And it also started to sting a bit. Now that could be because I have developed a sensitivity to one of the ingredients. Unfortunately, that can just happen when you have sensitive skin, especially if you have extenuating circumstances like eczema, which I have around my nose and my ears and my mouth. But I definitely try as much as I can to really listen to what my skin is liking and not liking, as 1970s hippie as that sounds. And obviously it told me pretty clearly this was not the one. It didn't want to go anywhere near this. So unfortunately, after years of using this, I am now no longer going to repurchase, and I am going to go to Sleeping Mask Pastures New, if that's a thing. I don't really think that's a thing. So speaking of new sleeping masks, this was one that I purchased this year and I had never used before. This is from Hanyul. This is their Yuja Vitamin C Sleeping Mask. Now I purchased this after I saw that it was doing really, really well on Huawei, which is the kind of Korean skincare app. It's great if you want to check out what's actually popular in South Korea. Huawei is a fantastic app for that. It was getting such amazing reviews. I bought it, but half thinking in my head that it probably wasn't going to work for me because of the citrus, and my sensitivities sometimes don't go together. However, I have been so pleasantly surprised. It has been working an absolute dream. Indeed, I used the entire thing. It has worked beautifully. My skin hasn't been irritated at all. It has a very pleasant citrus smell. It's not overpowering in the slightest. The texture is a light gel texture, and it doesn't feel too heavy or claustrophobic, which I really appreciate in a sleeping mask, especially during summer, because I don't want anything too heavy on my face when I'm trying to go to sleep and it's hot, and like, that's not fun. The real star ingredients are niacinamide and vitamin C, both of which are fantastic for brightening the skin, for reducing hyperpigmentation. The only thing that I didn't like was that it does include alcohol. It's not a very high percentage, but it does include it kind of later on down the list, and I would prefer that it doesn't include alcohol because sometimes my skin can be quite sensitive to alcohol. However, it wasn't with this, and so what I'm thinking is that perhaps it's been formulated in a way that won't sensitize skin, because not all alcohol is the same. But as I say, it hasn't irritated my skin at all, and my skin is pretty sensitive, so it's just something to keep in the back of your mind. Overall, it's really been one of those new finds that kind of surprises you and you end up falling in love with it, and it's just like a nice little treat to have. So yeah, love it, already repurchased, and very, very happy that I dove in and gave it a go. And that brings us to the end of my roundup of all of my skincare empties of 2020 so far. I will be back in December-ish or maybe early January to talk about what products I use from here until now. But I hope that this has been kind of interesting. You might have seen some products that you like, and it was nice to vent to you about the products that I really, really hate. So thank you for that. And I will see you guys this time next week for my new video. Bye!